Top considerations when buying a new construction home in North Idaho. There are some key factors that I continually hear from people that are looking for new construction. They want something new that they don't have to make any repairs to. If they can customize flooring, countertops, then that's great. And they want energy efficient. Some things you should consider when looking at new construction in the area is the community and the builder. Now, each community is going to have a different feel to it, along with the different building plans that certain builders have. So it's important to get a good range of what communities you like to live in, whether they have parks, whether they have trails, sidewalks, how close they are to certain amenities that you want. Also, the reputation of the builder that is building in that community. Now, some of the communities in our area or neighborhoods can have multiple builders, or they can just have one builder. And that's something you should look into. Typically, they tend to be builders that build similar homes, similar price ranges. Along with looking into the different communities, look into the builders. Now, we have different builders in this area. We have a lot of production builders, we have semi-custom builders, and we have custom builders. Most of the neighborhoods are most likely going to be production builders, and that's typically where they say, hey, this is the lot, this is the floor plan, and give you a few options to be able to go in and pick flooring, countertops, counters, things like that. A semi-custom builder, they do let you make a little bit more changes to it, possibly a fireplace, possibly moving a door or a wall, but not too many changes. And again, they still let you pick your flooring, your countertops, things like that. If you want to pick everything out, you will want to go with a custom builder. Obviously, a custom builder is going to be a lot more money because you're going to be changing possibly floor plans, and then you have architects and other people getting involved that can make the price go up. So for production builders, again, that's your typical subdivision spec homes that you're going to see in and around in the neighborhoods, that you can choose a few things, but for the most part, they will have already decided what lot is going to have which home, or maybe they'll let you pick from a couple different. It just depends on where they are in the process and what that builder prefers to do. One thing to keep in mind, especially if you're going around to subdivision homes, typically the builders show off all they can in the model homes. They want the model homes to come across as beautiful and great, but in doing so, they also upgrade them as much as they can. So the price tag on that home is probably going to be a lot higher than the base home with not as many upgrades. I recently took a client into a model home, and the model home was $150,000 upgraded. Of course, they loved it, but that's a different price range and a different monthly payment if you're looking at that versus the base model. So just keep that in mind when going into the model homes. Some of them will put, this is an upgrade, but I typically like to go in with my clients and ask, okay, what is upgraded? Is this the top cabinet package? Is this the base? That way it gives you an idea that you'll know the quality of the building. It's always good to walk a couple different model homes too. That way you get a feel for the builder, how they build, what things look like, and finishes that they have. But again, remember to take your real estate agent with you. They're there to help you and work on your behalf so that they can ask the questions. When looking at the different communities, maybe go there a couple different times, especially if it's already started to be established. Drive around, you can see, get a feel for the neighborhood and different commutes too for your daily activities. Take a couple drives to your work from the neighborhood. See what it feels like. See if you like that distance from commute. Where are the schools? Where's the shopping? Where are the restaurants? Is it too far out for you? Just visit it a few times, get an idea if that's the neighborhood that you like. Also, ask your real estate agent what experience they have with builders. I've worked with plenty different builders. I know which ones are easy to work with. I know which ones I've had issues with. And I've had plenty of clients live in different properties and know what their experience is. You're going to want to know what experience they have with the builder after closing too. Usually there's warranties, so you're going to want to know what warranties are available, what's warranted, but what experiences do other people have on getting those items fixed and addressed? Customizing and design options. Now, depending on the builder, what design options do you have? Are you able to choose if you have a fireplace, if it's gas, or if it's wood? Are you able to choose your own cabinetry? Or do you just go to their design center and they say, hey, we have package A, B, C. Which one do you want? You're going to want to know that going in so that you have a better idea of what you can do as you're going through the process. If I can, I always like to ask the representative for the builder if I can walk my client through that specific floor plan, maybe in a different subdivision, but maybe just somewhere so that they can get an idea, because it's kind of hard to look at the photos and get an understanding of how it actually feels. And that just helps them feel comfortable in the decision that they're making so that they can actually see it. Now, not every time do they have a floor plan, but if the option's available, I'm definitely asking. Understanding the costs after the price tag. Now, what I mean by that is, are there HOAs in this specific neighborhood? Because that's going to be a cost after the final price. What is included? Do you get landscaping? Do you have to finish the landscaping? Is there fencing? What are the other costs that are going to come in after that you're going to be responsible for when living at this property? Now again, some of those things can be upgrades, and depending on what your budget looks like, just keeping track of those upgrades or other things that are going to cost after you close. I always like to ask for a cost guide or what everything's going to look like. That way there are no surprises for you as the buyer as we progress forward. Timeline and construction process. Now, depending on where you get started in the new construction process, can kind of depend on the timeline, such as if you pick out a property that they already have a foundation poured on, you're not having to wait for all those building permits, which can take weeks to get. But if you start at the beginning and they have to pull those permits, again, it just adds to the time and the process and how long it can take. We always like to get an understanding of how long the builder can take to build. Typically with a production builder, it can be about 120 to 180 days. So just make sure you know, because that can make a difference on where you're going to live in the meantime or when it comes to selling your current property. And just remember that all those are estimates. There are things in our area that can delay the process. And those items that delay the process tend to be weather related, or also when they're having issue getting supply chain items. As the home is being built and as you go through the building process, you will be able to narrow down that time frame, but they do just give you a general idea. Just knowing the time frame can help you narrow down things that you need to do to get ready to close on the property. Sometimes you can be starting from the beginning, but also there are homes that the builder has already almost finished that you can still get a good deal on and be able to purchase those properties sooner than later. On the flip side though, you're not able to make any changes because they've already had to pick out what the interior is going to look like, what cabinets, what flooring, but they tend to be done sooner and you can just move in than waiting. But just remember, a lot of those dates are going to be estimates and not deadline dates. They can move, but as you go through the building process, you will be kept up to date on how things are going. Inspections and quality assurance. Yes, the home has to be inspected by certain officials through the process. What I mean by that is the city does have certain city officials that go out and check on how the progress of the home is going. But know that they are just there to check it and make sure that the builder is staying within the codes that are out there. They aren't checking everything as a inspector would. So I always highly recommend for my new construction buyers to get an inspection on their home. Again, this is one thing that a buyer's agent will advocate for their clients on, whereas maybe not the builder's agent letting you know you can have a home inspection. So yes, you have the city people going out doing their inspection, but you want an overall home inspection once that home has been completed. You want another set of eyes on that property to make sure that it is built sound. In doing this, if you find anything that is wrong or not done the way that it should be, it's so much easier to go back to the builder and have him correct it before you move in and before you close on that property. These inspections are typically done after the home has been completed. Maybe some builders will have you do it before you do a blue tape walkthrough, but definitely before closing. And again, you want to do it before closing because it makes it easier to go back and have that builder correct it to get to closing before you've closed on it and now it's something you have to deal with. They are an extra fee and something you'll have to pay for, but it's just a peace of mind that everything was done the way it should be. Now, I've had people get homes inspected that were production builders, semi-custom, and custom, and it doesn't matter. Humans make errors and there can be mistakes no matter what type of builder it is. I've had a semi-custom builder not install insulation in one part of the garage. Super easy fix that can get done right away. I've also heard horror stories from other people who didn't get a home inspection and found out that their HVAC was not hooked up properly and therefore the heat was just blowing into the crawl space. So these are just extra things that you want to get done. I also recently heard from an inspector that they were doing a new home inspection and the sewer pipes were not hooked up. So it's always good to get sewer scope and inspect too, just to make sure everything's hooked up and running properly. Again, it's just that extra peace of mind that everything is done correctly so that when you move in, you don't have to worry about it. And this should be something that your buyer's agent is advocating for you on. Along with getting the inspection, keep in mind the warranties that the builder has and if there's certain time frames for them, such as if the builder has a 1-year time frame warranty, maybe have another inspector come out at 11 months and look and see if there's anything that you should ask the builder to warranty before that is up. Now, there are a lot of things to consider and look into when purchasing a new home. This isn't all of them, but hopefully this gives you an idea of some things you should consider. And if you need an agent to help you through the process, I would love to help. My name is Amanda Cuspert. I'm with the Phoenix Agency.